even if we had raised our military spending budget, we would be treated the same way, you think?
Look, I don't think I'd ever make any prediction of how Trump will go. He's just such a strange bird. So I'll leave that up to your imagination.
How far are we from peace in Ukraine after what we saw, some of the deadliest attacks on Kyiv overnight by Russia?
Well, we never seem to get close to peace. We think we're going to get there. We hope we're going to get there. But the war rages on. People continue to be killed at a frightening rate. So I don't know what you do. I think trying to deal with Putin on these things is near impossible.
Meanwhile, we've got Xi Jinping, Putin and Kim Jong-un getting together for China's military parade to celebrate V-Day against the war of fascism next week. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that's just, the sort of typical show of strength, poke us in the eye a bit. That's, I think, quite normal. Belligerent perhaps, but normal nonetheless.
You don't think it's ironic?
No, not really. I
war against
irony
fascism?
In there.
Those three?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
That's all right. Let's bring the topic back closer to home. We are seeing some images. We saw some images this morning from the Ballarat Bush Summit, where there was a lot of heckling, especially for our Prime Minister Albanese and for Jacinta Allen, the State Premier. Your thoughts on that?
Well, they're going into areas that can hardly be called Labor heartland, and so they've got to expect some opposition because the locals would not normally vote Labor.
But do you think they would at all pivot their policies towards more, with more of an agricultural focus rather than metropolitan?
Well, I think they're going to have to. I don't know whether it's the right thing to do or not. I think they're going to have to. But, these things are difficult balances for politicians. People always think pollers get paid for nothing. But when I look at something like this, you realise that it's a difficult job and you've got to make difficult choices. The kind of choices where no matter which way you go, you're going to get criticised.
Or you can threaten to punch a reporter like Bob Katter?
I've never threatened to. I've had to calm Neville Rand down when I thought he was going to, but no, not in my case. I'm a man of peace.
And I guess that's good. I hope we all are. I hope we all can practice decency in our manners. But let's talk about the rise of extremism as the manhunt for Desi Freeman goes into a fourth day. And do you see that as something, particular to rural and regional Australia where there's a lot of discontent?
Yeah, there is some discontent, but I'm concerned about this so-called sovereign citizen rise. It's just a far right-wing trap, in my view. I think we should be very wary of it. You just brand yourself as a sovereign citizen, because it sounds a hell of a lot better than right-wing nutter.
So, sovereign citizen, we've got foreign interference with Iran, we've got Bob Katter trying to talk up this anti-immigration rally. There seems to be this thread of a simmering discontent and also uncertainty running through all the news stories of this week. Can you wrap it up for us?
Well, yeah, I think we've got a real problem when we get to the stage that we're letting Katter set an agenda. I'd be very wary of ever letting that happen. I just think that people in the bush who are not accustomed to voting Labor have to learn how to influence Labor governments. They haven't been very good at it in the past, but given that Labor governments are now far more a fact of life than they were in other decades, you're going to have to do it.
Okay. Thank you so much for your insights as always, Graham Richardson, former Labor Senator.